What's up everyone, welcome to Josh Burns Tech. I can't believe I've owned my Tesla Model X for 2 years now and have over 20,000 miles on it. Is a Tesla Model X the best SUV on earth? Find out in this video.
98. Yeah, jungle in the juice, man. I can feel the heat, yeah. I can feel the heat, man. I can feel the heat. Chucking up a dose, heard you trying to get a piece. Heard you trying to get a piece. Heard you trying to get a piece.
So since Tesla initially released the Model X, I was completely hooked. I mean, it was instantly my dream car. For me personally, I've always loved SUVs more than cars, and the Model X had the SUV size with the luxury car feel. I purchased my Model X around October of 2018. This is a 2018 Tesla Model X 100D, which has everything upgraded. It has a top-of-the-line interior package, upgraded wheels, metallic black paint, which isn't available anymore, 7-seat interior, carbon fiber finish, and the full software package, including advanced autopilot and full self-driving. At the time of purchasing the Model X, the base price for the 100D model was $99,000, and that was before any software or any upgrades. It's definitely an expensive car, but I'm going to reiterate that it was my dream car and I upgraded every single thing possible. There's tons of cost savings and benefits from owning a Tesla, which in the long term brings the cost down significantly, and I'm going to discuss those later in the video. So first, let's cover the design of the Model X. The most popular design feature that everyone seems to love the most about the Model X is the Falcon Wing doors. So the key fob for the Model X actually looks like a toy car Model X. This is the key fob. So the typical way that I open the Falcon Wing doors is by pressing in on the window on the sides of the car. So on the passenger side of the car, if I double click this window, the Falcon Wing door will open. And same thing for the driver's side. Not only do they look really cool, but the functionality aspects are the most impressive. The doors have sensors on them, and the way that they open up depends on the environment. So as you can tell, right now I'm outside. There's nothing above the doors, so they just open up all the way. But don't worry, if you're in a parking garage that has low ceilings, or if your garage at your house has low ceilings, your Falcon Wing doors won't plow into the ceiling. The sensors on the doors will detect anything above them and open accordingly. And if someone parks close to you, and we all know, as soon as you buy your dream car or an expensive car, everyone starts parking close to you. Whenever I go to Kroger, I prefer to park as isolated as possible, and my fiance loves that. Or does she? But if someone does park too close to you, the doors will open more straight up, rather than coming out and then opening up. And that's why they're called Falcon Wing doors. It definitely takes a little getting used to trust the doors to open up automatically and not hit anything. But I've personally opened them in tons of situations, and they've always performed perfectly. Almost forgot to mention, if you press the button that opens the Falcon Wing doors in the second row, if you press it, it'll open up all the way. And then you can press the same button to close the door. So again, I have the 7-seat interior, which does in fact seat 7 people comfortably. To access the third row seating, all you have to do is press this button. Then the seats will lay all the way down. So I'm 5'10", and there's not much room above me here. So if you're a taller person, then you probably don't want to be sitting in the third row. Like most third row seating in SUVs, I also had to climb back here, so it's definitely not meant for everyone. However, the seats are really high quality, like the first row and second row. There's 2 cup holders in between the seats and also air vents as well. During the Model X launch, Elon actually discussed how the Falcon Wing doors were designed to solve a problem of not being able to easily access the third row. And unlike most third row seating, the third row seats are actually really nice. The Falcon Wing doors give you so much room to get in and out of the car. They open up a lot higher than you think. When my fiance's family comes in town, we always take my car out together. If you're someone that doesn't like your family, the third row is where you want to be, because no one can see you back here. And on the other hand, if you're claustrophobic, then don't get in the third row. Do yourself a favor and put your kids in the third row. Personally, I love SUVs because of the increased storage and the towing capacity. Whenever I'm not using third row seating, I'll lay them down, and it adds a lot of room to the back. However, my fiance and I mainly use the front for groceries.
There's actually a lot more space in it than you think, and it's also really funny to watch people stare at you confused when you're using the frunk.
I live in a rural area in Kentucky, so trust me when I say that there's not many Teslas in my area. I feel like I pass the same Tesla owners often, and they all wave at me like the Jeep wave.
The Model X is also built for efficiency, including a spoiler that provides incredible aerodynamics and the lowest drag coefficient of any vehicle in its class.
The 100D model goes 0 to 60 in just 4.4 seconds. However, the performance model is the fastest SUV on earth, and it goes 0 to 60 in just 2.6 seconds. The Model X handles amazingly well, and it's really fun to drive. Personally, I love the regenerative braking because it makes it easy to coast around sharp curves. During most of my drives, I rarely have to use the brakes because the car is actively braking when you're not accelerating. It's not only good for the lifespan of your brakes, but it's also great for rigid weather like heavy rain or snow. I always feel in control of the car, whereas in previous cars that I've owned in those same situations, I didn't feel as comfortable. And this leads perfectly into safety features. The Tesla Model X is the first SUV ever to earn a 5-star crash safety rating in every category from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. Say that 5 times fast. Outside of the 5-star rating in every category, more importantly, it has the lowest probability of injury out of any SUV that's ever been tested. In the event of a crash, Model X occupants have a 93% probability of walking away without any serious injuries. And out of every car that they've ever tested, the Model X's probability of injury is only second to the Model S. So the top 2 cars with the lowest probability of injury are both Teslas. Most injuries or deaths occur from a frontal crash or a head-on collision. Normally with a gasoline SUV or a car, you have a large steel engine block in the front. In a high-speed frontal collision, the engine block compresses into the cabin and that can cause injury to passengers. With the Model X, that's obviously not the case. Again, the only thing that's ever in the front of my car is groceries.
For the side angle pole impact intrusion, the next best SUV to the Model X has a side impact intrusion that's almost 50% higher than the Model X.
The most impressive safety feature for me personally has to be the rollover. The Model X has a low center of gravity because of the battery pack and the floor pan. And the low center of gravity substantially reduces the chances of a rollover. The best safety protection is obviously to never get in an accident. So the Model X comes with active safety, and this includes automatic emergency braking and side collision avoidance.
The Model X uses a camera and radar to automatically brake before there's an accident, and it uses the ultrasonic sensors around the sides of the car to steer you away from a side collision.
The Model X also has the first true HEPA filter in a car for air safety. The Model X car air filter is massively larger than all other car air filters. The Model X literally blows other cars away with air filtration. Software updates is probably the coolest part of owning a Tesla. It actually makes it exciting to own a car because you're constantly getting new updates. The updates come over the air via Wi-Fi, and you'll get a notification on the Tesla app when a new update's available. So I can schedule the update in my car, or I can go ahead and install it right now. And it gives you an approximate amount of time. It's saying that this update will take 25 minutes to complete. Version 10 has definitely been the best update so far. It included full self-driving visualization preview, so now on autopilot, it shows stop signs, stop lights, cones on the road, and even trash cans. It really shows how much closer that Tesla is getting to full self-driving. We all know that the hardware and the capabilities there. It's really a matter of getting everything approved and getting the software ready.
You can also read through the update details as well. Okay, so I'm going to click on the Tesla icon on the top of the display. Next to the version number, I can select release notes. And this will give me details on every feature that was in the update. And you can also see previous release notes, such as traffic light and stop sign control beta. As you can see, the Model X has a massive 17-inch vertical display, which is amazing for navigation. Another extremely popular feature is Tesla Theater. This includes Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, Twitch, and Tesla tutorials. This is likely something that will be constantly added to. I'm sure Tesla will be adding new apps in future updates. Anytime you're charging your Tesla or just waiting in it somewhere, having all these apps makes it so much better. And Tesla's always adding new games into the arcade. Elon tweets about them all the time. Some of the newest ones are Stardew Valley and Cuphead. So Beach Buggy 2 Racing is probably my favorite Tesla arcade game. You actually get to use the steering wheel and brakes on the Tesla to control your car. So as you can see, I'm driving a Model X. However, if I had a Model 3, then in Beach Buggy, I would be driving a Model 3. This game is pretty comparable to Mario Kart or Diddy Kong Racing if you owned a Nintendo 64 like I did. It's just really cool that you get to use the steering wheel and brakes on your Tesla to control the car. Your car accelerates on its own, so you don't have to press anything to accelerate. However, you do use the brake to stop, and you can see me using the steering wheel obviously. This is definitely one of the most popular Tesla arcade games. One thing I will say about the Tesla Model 3 is that the horizontal display is definitely better for games and entertainment. Obviously, games and Netflix aren't designed to be on a vertical display. This clip is me playing Beach Buggy 2 Racing on a Tesla Model 3 that I rented last year while on vacation in San Diego. However, I really like having the display behind the steering wheel as well, which you don't get with the Model 3.
So personally, I believe that Dashcam is one of the best software features in Teslas.
This is footage from one of my drives home recently. Your entire drive is recorded using the car's cameras, and you can then export it to the USB. So if you were to get in an accident, or if someone hit your car while you were away from it, you can export the footage to the USB and use that as evidence.
And who can forget about advanced autopilot and full self-driving?
They take some time to get used to, but it makes long trips so much better. I never realized how much not having to steer would improve long trips. It stays in between the lines more consistently than most people can, and it actively notifies you when to change lanes using auto lane change. It's definitely crazy to watch the car steer on its own, stop behind cars, and then accelerate when the light turns green.
I personally can't wait for the future of Tesla full self-driving. One of the most common concerns that people usually have regarding Teslas is road trips. How many miles can it go, and how does charging work? Does your battery ever die? Again, this is mine and my fiance's go-to car. Anytime that we go on a road trip, we take my Model X. I think the furthest that we've driven it at one time is around 6 hours. Alright, so take a look at this. All the red dots are supercharger locations in the US. California, look at the spot in California. There's so many right there. So this just goes to show you how many supercharger locations there are, and you can see that a lot of them go along interstates as well. And obviously that doesn't just apply to the US. If we take a look at Europe, you can see how many there are in Europe. There's supercharger locations everywhere. My Model X has a 300-mile battery. I personally do not like to push that too close. I never let my battery get below 10%. And it usually takes around 30 minutes at most superchargers to charge my car. Tesla did a great job at positioning superchargers around grocery stores, restaurants, shopping centers. They did a great job at allowing charging to fit more seamlessly into your life. Also with software, which we just took a look at, there's tons of entertainment in Teslas. If you're subscribed to my YouTube channel, then you probably know when my car's charging, I'm usually doing freelance work. If you're going to be driving your Tesla a lot at the destination, then you need a charging station close by. You can also charge Teslas on standard EV chargers like you would find at hotels, malls, and places like that. All Teslas come with charging adapters that will basically let you charge on any EV charger. ChargePoint is a pretty common EV charger that I've seen at a lot of places. Whole Foods also has their own free EV chargers. It's important to note that these chargers are way slower than the Tesla EV chargers. They charge at speeds more comparable to home chargers. Also, since I purchased my Tesla in 2018, I have free supercharging for the lifetime of my vehicle. So on that 6-hour trip that my fiance and I took last year, I didn't spend any money at all on supercharging. Now compare that to gas prices.
On Tesla's website, you can also select your model and compare charging costs to gas costs over distance driven.
For the most part, I charge my Tesla at my house.
I have a home charger installed, not actually the wall connector, but the level 2 charger that uses a 240 volt electrical circuit, and that's similar to a dryer.
It takes somewhere around 8 hours to fully charge at home, but it really depends on the percent of your battery. You literally just charge it overnight like an iPhone and it's ready to go in the morning. I work from home full time now, so I really only charge my car like once a week. It hasn't really affected my electric bill because I'm charging infrequently. However, I've heard from most people that it can typically raise your electric bill by like $30 or $40, which obviously that's way cheaper than gas anyway. So what about maintenance costs and savings? How much money do you spend on maintenance? So in 2 years of owning my Tesla, I've spent a grand total of $0 on maintenance. Over 20,000 miles with $0 in maintenance. So there's obviously no oil changes and there's way less that can go wrong with electric cars. I actually just had some maintenance work done on my Model X last week. This was the first time in 2 years that I took my car in for maintenance. My display had a yellow ring that was around the edges. You couldn't see it at night, but during the day it was noticeable and it definitely bothered me. My second row cup holder also broke. So one of my dogs was riding with me. I had all my seats laid down in the back so he could lay down on them. And he fell in between the second row seating and the back of my seat. And when he did that, my cup holder was open, his paw hit the cup holder and actually broke it. And then my software was stuck on version 9. All my updates had been failing. And as I described earlier, version 10 was a huge software update. It was so simple to schedule the maintenance. Everything is done within the Tesla app and you can take pictures of your issues as well. You can also select a date and time to drop your car off and then they'll give you an estimate as well. Tesla also has a mobile service team that can come to your house to fix most issues. However, the issues that I had were more complex and it required taking my car to a service center. The closest service center to me is in Cincinnati, Ohio. It's around 2 hours from my house here in Kentucky. Since I needed to keep my car for a few days to do all the maintenance work, they gave me a Tesla Model 3 loaner. I drove the Model 3 all the way back to my house and I had it for 4 days with free charging. So Tesla will actually charge you if you drive it more than 200 miles a day. However, since I live 2 hours away, they made an exception. I personally think that's really great to see that Tesla makes exceptions for people who just don't live close to service centers. I mean, how does it get better than that? I dropped my Model X off and then I got to have fun driving a Model 3 for 4 days. Driving the Model 3 around, it's really easy to see why it's one of the best-selling cars in the US. I rented an all-white Model 3 last year in San Diego while I was on vacation, so this was the second Model 3 that I've driven. Overall, it's an amazing car and I had a lot of fun driving it. It was actually exciting to drop my car off. With previous vehicles that I've owned, I don't think that I've ever looked forward to having maintenance work done. In most states, you can get a tax credit with the purchase of a new electric vehicle. When I purchased my Model X in 2018, I was able to get a $7,500 tax credit. So Tesla has been slowly phasing this tax credit out. However, many states do have EV tax incentives. The Tesla Model X is definitely pricey, but when you compare it to other SUVs at similar price points, it's definitely worth it. Especially when you factor in low maintenance costs and low depreciation as well. And because it benefits the environment, are why the Tesla Model X is the best SUV on earth. The progress that Tesla and Elon Musk have made in the electric car industry is nothing short of amazing. I know I'm personally excited for the future, not only to see the cars that Tesla's going to release, but other car manufacturers as well that's getting into the electric car industry. If you enjoyed this video but you haven't hit the like button yet, please do that now. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. You know, I'll probably beat you there with my 0 to 60 speed, by the way.
On this end screen, I recommend checking out these videos, and be sure to hit that round subscribe button for weekly tech videos, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything. Thank you for watching, and until next time.
Yeah, jungle in the juice, man. I can feel the heat, yeah. I can feel the heat, man. I can feel the heat.